Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is July 15th of 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to arrest and frame U.S. President Donald J. Trump for crimes he did not commit on the date of July 16th of 2025. So exactly how this is going to go down is obviously not known, but it appears that the CIA is going to stage a pre-dawn raid targeting Donald J. Trump at the White House in Washington, D.C. on the morning of July 16th, most likely in the 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock a.m. hour, likely resulting in the death of one Donald J. Trump at a later date after he is tortured and murdered in a ritualistic blood sacrifice. So really quick, firstly in respect to numerology, firstly the date of July 16th, obviously the number 16 is featured in the symbology of the CIA. There's 16 points on the CIA star, and therefore it's highly likely that the CIA would arrest Trump on this particular date for crimes he did not commit. Secondly, the date of July 16th marks exactly 62 days since former FBI head of the FBI, James Comey, posted a meme on social media featuring the numerology of 8647. 86 means to throw out or to kill, and 47 is the 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. The number 62 or 26 backwards equates to letter Z, which is an acronym for Zionism, and this is the political motivation behind the impending arrest and subsequent death of Donald J. Trump on this particular date. Thirdly, the date of July 16th marks exactly 177 days since Donald J. Trump was sworn into office back on January 20th of 2025. The number 77 is routinely used as a CIA kill number that's routinely used in the assassinations of numerous people, as evidenced by the 27 Club. 2 sevens is 77. Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, what's his name? Jimi Hendrix. The list is very long. It's like roughly 300 people that have been killed on this numerology. Also, the London bombings of 7/7 were executed on this particular numerology. That is because the number 7 and 7, when joined together, form a triangle, which is found on the flag of Israel. So this is going to be an Israeli Mossad, Shin Bet, or IDF hit on Trump, usually or most likely featuring double agents within the U.S. government. Thirdly, the date of July 16th marks exactly 1,073 days since the CIA staged the FBI raid on 88. Remember that number? And so the number 173 obviously this bears the numerology of Trump's assassination on July 13th, 713. And so this marks 1,073 days since the FBI raid, because this raid is going to be fatal in nature. 3 sevens also form a triangle, which is found on the flag of Israel. Fourthly, the date of July 16th marks exactly 12,031 days, 1231, since the CIA formed this group called KleptoCapture, and this is basically a group, I believe, of double agents. This is IRS agents, Secret Service agents, U.S. Marshals Service, FBI, DHS agents, and I believe that these are the double agents, or they created the political cover for these double agents, who will likely be Israeli Mossad in nature. Lastly, the date of July 16th marks exactly 28,887 days since Donald J. Trump was born in Queens, New York, back on June 14th of 1946. Of course, this features the 2-8, as in the FBI raid of 8/8, 2022. This is features 3 8s, but it also features the 88 numerology, which is indicative of Switzerland and her constitution, which formed modern Switzerland back on April 19th of 1840. 748. So this bears the 88 numerology. So exactly what Donald J. Trump will be arrested and framed for is obviously not known. If you follow my blog, you know that I have been posting reports and videos about his impending arrest and subsequent assassination for years, but the most likely are as follows. Given that the CIA just attempted to assassinate Trump in 3 different ways today and 3 different ways a few days ago, they are absolutely desperate to bring in one J.D. Vance as president. And so, obviously, in the aftermath of me listing the potential scenarios which he could be arrested under, the CIA will likely move to one of the other ones. Thus far, there's roughly 100 different scenarios which I've highlighted over the years, but the ones that are blinking red are as follows. Obviously, with all the hype and buzz around the Epstein list, Trump could be arrested for blocking the Epstein list, the release of the Epstein list, or he could be arrested for links to sex trafficking, or he could be arrested for alleged links to the murders of Jeffrey Epstein. And there's 2 other individuals which you can find on my blog, 911truth.org, that have been suicided in their jail. 2 of them is suicided in their jail, and the other one was, I believe, hit by a bus and then committed suicide. So 3 suicides related to this case. That's number 1. Number 2 is for alleged links to the insurrection of January 6th. I've published reports about this particular scenario ad nauseum. Number 3 is the November 5th election for allegedly cheating, possibly Elon Musk bearing false witness against Trump. And I should mention that this could be an FBI raid, it could be a DHS raid, it could be a U.S. Secret Service, it could be U.S. Marshals, but there's also the possibility that the CIA will go international and have NATO, UN, Interpol, or the ICC, the International Criminal Court, execute this raid. So there could be, Trump could be arrested for allegedly accepting the Boeing 748 AKB from Qatar, from gifts from Qatar, or being a foreign agent or acting as a foreign agent in his recent trip to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, for the June 22nd attack on Iran. He could be arrested for war crimes. He could be arrested for sale of weapons to NATO countries, which was a deal which was just finalized in the White House yesterday between NATO Secretary Mark Rutte and Trump. And of course, there's always the possibility that Trump could be arrested for allegedly setting up the July 13th assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. There's been 2 other assassination attempts, one in Florida and then one outside the Coachella event in California. So he could be arrested for allegedly setting up his own assassination event in order to win the election. But the most likely scenarios is the Epstein list, the January 6th, the November 5th election, July 13th, June 22nd attack on Iran, the gifts from Boeing, Qatar, or which they recently tried was to arrest Trump under the RICO statutes and from profiting illegally from the President of the Office of the United States with his meme coins. I've covered these scenarios ad nauseum. It's just that at this particular point, the CIA seems to be absolutely desperate to arrest Trump for some sort of crimes which he is not guilty of in order to trigger a civil war. So what's going to happen is basically Trump will never see the inside of a courtroom. He is going to be either murdered in some ritualistic blood sacrifice, and then they will claim that he committed suicide, or that he engaged in some sort of violent act towards federal officials and then had to be restrained, and he was subsequently killed, possibly under the guise of asphyxiation. Or the other scenario is that they claim that he murdered somebody, or that he suffered some sort of medical-related event, possibly his own doing. So they're going to blame it on him. Whatever the scenario is by which they execute him, they're going to blame it on him because they don't want the fault coming back on himself, on them, for the CIA for staging this. This basically it's a terror raid. It's basically an assassination raid that's masquerading as Trump committing some sort of crimes. So obviously there's a whole horde of different scenarios. There's also the possibility that Trump could be arrested for the Georgia case, which is outstanding. This is this case where Trump tried to basically subvert the election process in Georgia by influencing electorates, and he said, "Find me on the audio tape of the phone call between, I believe it was Trump and Georgia governor, I forget his name." He said, "Find me 11,000 votes." So there's roughly 10 or 15 different scenarios which they could be arresting, but as all assassinations, terror attacks, wars, and in this particular case, arrest raids, we know that they're going to do it on CIA numerology, and none is blinking more red than the date of July 16th, as evidenced by the numerology. So obviously, if this comes to fruition in reality, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Lastly, I just want to say that the reason that they're trying to get rid of Trump is twofold. Well, it's multifaceted, but it's basically for two reasons. Number one is they want to get J.D. Vance in there because J.D. Vance is the man that's going to take the United States to war with Iran. J.D. Vance would be sworn in as the 48th President of the United States on July 16th or July 17th of 2025. And he is the 48th president, and Israel was created on May 14th of 1948. So this numerology suggests that J.D. Vance is the chosen neocon in MAGA clothing that's going to take the United States to war with Iran. Secondly, they want to start a civil war in the United States because obviously everybody knows that the FBI is corrupt. Everybody knows that they're basically with this Epstein situation, that they're hiding evidence. They said that they had the evidence. Now they're saying they don't have the evidence, and this is specifically designed to make the FBI appear criminal in nature, so that once this assassination raid, arrest raid of Trump takes place, that they have no legal standing, obviously, and they have they're acting in a nefarious manner, and so they plan to, once this arrest raid happens, they plan to trigger a civil war in the United States. They likely will bring in the 12th Battalion, the Azov Battalion from Ukraine, posing as neo-Nazi MAGA people, and then they're going to start a hot war in the United States, and they want to balkanize the United States just as they've done the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, the Soviet Union, and so many other big countries in the past. So they want to start a war in the United States, and they plan on making Trump the poster boy for this civil war, which is why the raid is not, the pending arrest of Trump is not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to outrage people, which is why it's so dangerous right now, is because they can arrest him on anything. They can just make up something. They could claim that he's a pedophile. They could claim that he murdered somebody. They could claim whatever they want, but the goal is to enrage the American public, and then they'll go ahead and with their special forces from other countries acting under the banner of MAGA, they will begin to trigger a civil war in the United States, likely beginning with terror attacks and sieges of government-related entities across the United States, government and military-related entities. And so this is apparently going to commence on the date of July 16th of 2025. Obviously, that cannot be allowed to happen, so if in fact these things come to fruition, I kindly ask that you share this video. Peace.